That'll do.
Game and first set to Miss Pfaff, 7-6.
Well, what a marvellous set she played, or what a marvellous tie-break she played, Eva Pfaff, to win that opening set in 41 minutes. She seemed to know instinctively just how to apply the pressure when it mattered.
Yes, John, I think that the first point was the vital one. She broke Joe's serve right on that first point and then served two very, very good serves to get away to a 3-love start. And really in the tiebreaker, it's a question of belief in yourself, I think. If you can get away to a start, you have a little bit to play with. And then with those excellent shots that she has, she didn't make any further mistakes.
Of course, she has a lot of international experience too. She played in the German Federation Cup team last year in California, didn't she, in the doubles, was it?
Yes, she just played in the doubles there. I think at one time she suffered from an inferiority complex with the other German players being stronger than she was. But she decided, I think, to get a lot fitter, to do a lot of training, because she was very much heavier. And she needed to do all that work to build herself up and build her self-confidence up. It's a question of belief in yourself, this game. All very mental when everything is even.
Serving. Love. All. $30-15. 30 all. $40-40.
That's the way to meet those serves, to step in and block them back early so that the server doesn't have time to get into the volleying position. And again.
Game to Miss Durie. First game, second set.
Well, Joe Durie there did seem to me to be very much more determined. The secret of returning the serve on grass is to meet the ball out in front of you. Of course, it does come off the ground so fast, you have to see it early. And there isn't time for much of a swing, you have to block it back. And she did that so well that last game.
Yes, of course, John, because the faster you serve, the faster Eva serves, the faster the ball comes back. And if she's a little bit slow getting into the net, she gets caught.
Miss Durie now serving.
Durie, having just broken at Pfaff serve, getting off to the start she wants in this second set, but it's going to take a great deal of character to come out of this match now against an opponent who's really become quite confident.
Love 15. Love 30.
Well, the serve was pitifully short.
Love 40.
Instinct.
15-40.
But really, she must try and get her greater length on the serve.
.40. Advantage, Miss Durie.
No play. Stuck to the task. Still not quite deep enough, these serves yet. And no doubt about the popularity of that held serve from Love 40.
Game to Miss Durie. 2 games to 1. 2 games to Love. Miss Durie leads.
So Alan Jones, Joe Durie's coach, will be a little relieved, no doubt. Brilliant.
Love 15.
At that precise moment, having come back from Love 40 and held, that broken point against the serve is worth 2 points.
All.
This is a very big point now for the German girl. And now an even bigger one.
First service. Deuce.
Yet again, the error coming from the forehand wing.
Advantage, Miss Pfaff.
Good serve.
Game, Miss Pfaff.
Held her nerve very well, the German girl.
Miss Durie leads 2 games to 1 in the second set. Miss Pfaff leads by 1 set to love.
Well, and that was a pity, really, from the British point of view. But I think one had to also say that that Eva Pfaff recovered awfully well. Jo with a slight chance, but never did this girl give Jo Durie a chance on those break points.
I think, John, that Eva Pfaff in that last game showed a great deal of determination that I haven't seen from her too many times before. Frequently, when she gets in a down position, the whole match seems to slip away quite quickly from her. But she was determined that game was not going to slip away, because at love 3, she was really looking at having to play a third set.
Incidentally, that's the first set Jo Durie's lost this Wimbledon. Ivana Brashakova, 6-4, 6-2 in the first round. Tina Mokizuki, 6-4, 6 love in the second.
Love.
New balls flying quicker through the air.
All. $15-30. $15-40.
Well, when you've got a serving volleyer like this coming in all the time, a very good return of serve is the ones that now she's playing, taking the pace off the ball and keeping the ball below net level so that the server has to make all the play on the volley. Ooh.
Deuce.
Well, it didn't miss that line by much. It was a winner all the way had it been in. Joe committed thoroughly to the cross-court move.
Advantage, Miss Durie.
Good serve. Again, how important depth is. Right in the corner.
Game to Miss Durie. 3 games to 1. Miss Durie leads in the second set.
Well, she's living dangerously, the British girl. Love 40 down in her previous service game, 15-40 in that one. But plenty of resolve when it mattered. 1-3.
Love 15. All.
Very athletic girl, isn't she? Enjoys all sorts of other sports, skiing, squash, soccer, volleyball, basketball.
30-15.
Oh, that's a brilliant forehand. At full stretch.
40-15.
You have to be very strong physically to be able to play that shot. Well played. That's how to take the net position away from the server.
40-30. Game, Miss Pfaff. Miss Durie leads 3 games to 2 in the second set. Miss Pfaff leads by 1 set to love.
Well, Joe Durie has had an adventurous couple of service games, Anne, but my goodness, she's sticking to the task. I don't think I've ever seen her in a more determined mood than today.
No, and for me, John, the match has really picked up in tempo over these last 2 or 3 games. Both girls hitting the ball harder and harder, and both of them seemingly thriving on it. And this is the first point of the last game. And you see the width that Eva Pfaff gets on that service, and she's so surprised that it returns. And she's surprised again that Joe Durie gets to that one and misses the volley. It really looks harder to miss than it does to hit into the court. But these things happen in the tension of the moment. And as I said earlier, she does have a tendency to miss the easier shots as opposed to the more difficult ones. I think she finds the difficult ones much more of a challenge. But Joe is really rising to the challenge. Having lost the first set, she's digging her heels in well. With a break in hand, 3-2.
Love 15. Love 30.
Fraction slow off the mark, so that the whole thing became rather rushed. Good place to serve, under the right armpit. Not easy to play the ball back from there ever. Pfaff has just picked something off the surface of the court there. So for the third service game in a row, the German girl has break points. At least it's in the singular this time.
Deuce.
Altogether different, and the ball is above the height of the net.
Advantage, Miss Durie.
Well played.
Game to Miss Durie. 4 games to 2. Miss Durie leads. Second set.
She's absolutely right to go on pressing all the time, and it is making the German girl miss by quite a margin in the end.
15 love. First service.
Well played. And Alan Jones has always said that she'll keep on going for everything.
15 all.
And those sort of recoveries come from constant practice, often 2 against 1.
30-15. All.
Well, that was either just good fortune or very brave, because that second serve was within a few millimetres of being a double fault.
deuce. Advantage, Miss Durie.
Well, it turned into a very fine return of serve with the pace taken off it, the sort of problem that she'd been set by Miss Pfaff earlier. Now a break point. Well played.
Game to Miss Durie. 5 games to 2. Miss Durie leads. In the second set, Miss Pfaff leads 1 set to love.
Well, that second break of serve here should mean that we're going to see a third set, Anne.
Yes, and the way Durie is now moving, I was noticing how she was bouncing up and down, waiting to receive serve. And this means for me that she's very much more alive, very much more alert, and pressurising her opponent so much more. Because as soon as you jump up and down, your opponent thinks you're going to move in behind the receiving of the serve, and this in turn makes the opponent go for a deep serve and can also sometimes cause them to miss it or to serve a short one, and then you're looking at your opponent at the net.
Serving for the second set.
Love 15. Love 30.
Well, even though there would be another chance, this is the moment to take the set.
Love 40.
Well, she's done it twice now. I wonder if she can do it again.
Fifteen 40. Game, Miss Pfaff. Miss Durie leads 5 games to 3. Second set.
She couldn't somehow free herself enough to get real depth and weight on those serves. Perhaps a little bit of tension crept in.
First service. Love.
Ace number 3.
15. Forty 15.
She really needs to make the German girl work at this very moment, because a break of serve here, if she could achieve it, would let her start the final set on her own serve. And that would make a tremendous difference if it ever got close.
Game, Miss Pfaff. Miss Durie leads 5 games to 4. In the second set, Miss Pfaff leads 1 set to love.
Well, and it seemed to me that she tightened in her last service game, Jo Durie, and it was quite evident there. Even that last return of serve, she snatched at it.
Yeah, she didn't need to snatch at it quite so much, because Eva Pfaff had decided to stay on the baseline. And all Jo really needed to do was to get the ball over and deep. But of course, it's so easy to see from a commentary position, isn't it, John? And it's not so easy down on the court. But I feel too that the British girls, and we've all suffered from it in the past, we have this slight inferiority complex. We don't get used to winning in quite the same way as the Americans do. And sometimes, somehow, we seem to find it difficult to put the last nail in the coffin.
Time.
And I think this is a very worrying moment for Jo. Having dropped the last 2 games from a very secure position, she's now in some trouble.
What would you be telling her if you were the Whiteman Cup captain sitting on the chair beside her?
Get the ball in deep, because I think her opponent can help her too. Eva makes mistakes. So serving for the second set again, 5-4.
Love. Love.
Well, the serves will need to be deeper than that. Extraordinary how hesitant that serve looked, and this girl will make a meal of those all day. 30-all. And she needs to play this first set point just as if it was any other. Well, I think the nail in the coffin that Ann Jones was talking about was right there, just needed to be hammered home.
Advantage, Miss Pfaff.
Oh, that is such good touch. One of the most difficult shots of all, the topspin lob from a half volley. So 2 chances gone. And one has to say it was a little bit of, or a little lack of belief on Durie's part. Short serving, which allowed her opponent the chance. And how well she took it.
Thank you.
5-all.
Love.
Net.
Love.
Small wonder that she's playing confidently now.
Love.
Well left, good serve.
Game to Miss Pfaff. Miss Pfaff leads by 6 games to 5 in the second set and by 1 set to love.
Well, Jo Durie's career has been littered with a few of these big leads. In some cases, even match-winning leads. But I mean, she had a good lead against Navratilova at Eastbourne last year and lost it, and against Potter in the Whiteman Cup in November last year. Do you remember that one?
I remember them all, and I remember plenty of mine too. It seems so difficult to win from 5-2. I think a lot of British players feel this way. The Americans somehow, as I said a bit earlier, they seem to have that belief that they're always going to win, and the British players always go out there and hoping they're going to play well and hoping they're going to win. And Jo's got a lot of talking to herself to do to pull herself out of this hole. And Eva has gone on and on like a steamroller. She doesn't compromise at all with any of her shots. They all go for the lines. And how difficult it's going to be for her to win this game. 5-6.
Love 15.
Well, it is if the serve is going to be as soft and short as that.
Love 30.
Well, that's her first ace. I suppose as good a time as any to produce it, but she'll need a few more. And all credit to Eva Pfaff. She's had a few slender chances given her, and she's taken them all. Double match point. That's good enough. And the British #1 brought to her knees.
and gentlemen, I have an announcement for spectators who have finished with their seat tickets. We will ask you please to be patient.
Well, really, that was such a disappointment for Joe Durie, having built up that marvellous lead in the second set. British frailty in front of a home crowd, desperately wanting to see a British win here. But I think we must say what a good player Eva Pfaff proved herself to be on the day. A splendid win, 7-6, 7-5, an hour and 22 minutes, and she goes round worthily into the fourth round.